All right, we are live and on air. Welcome to today's Kickoff Labs marketing chat. My name is Josh Ledgard. I am the co-founder of Kickoff Labs. Before we get into today's topic, how to create a viral campaign, I want to do a little housekeeping. First of all, let's pay the bills. There's only one sponsor for the show. It's Kickoff Labs. If you didn't know, Kickoff Labs is the quick and easy way to set up a viral campaign and get new customers, which is exactly what we'll be talking about today. Our tools help people create viral launch, contests, ebook download pages, and even event-focused campaigns like this one. You're viewing this webinar on one of our landing pages, you signed up via one of our landing pages and our campaign, and hopefully you referred a friend or two via our referral mechanism. The reason we do these events live is for the interactivity. So I want you all to be signed into the chat if possible, introducing yourselves, posting questions. I'll be pausing regularly to look at the questions live, and we'll do our best to answer them. It's what makes it fun for us to do these live. It could be a lot more canned and pre-recorded, but I think it's fun to have an audience and get that interactivity. So go ahead and introduce yourself, start thinking about questions. It might have to do with setting up your viral launch. I'd love to hear what they are, what your comments or concerns are along the way. The way that today's event is going to work is I'm going to introduce some concepts via some slides, and then we're going to walk through a live product demo of setting everything up, and then we'll go back to the slides for some best practice guidance on setting up these types of campaigns. So let me go ahead and share my screen so you guys can all see the slides. All right, so everybody should be seeing the slide I've got up here, which is the how to create a viral campaign like Harry's Razors or Robinhood.io. Two different types of viral campaigns. We'll be covering how to create both of them within Kickoff Labs. So next slide. A couple concepts. When we talk about conversion rate, is really simple explanation. People go to your landing page, it's the initial call to action, and then there's a percentage of those people convert to your goals. So whether that's signing up, whether that's buying something, in today's case, it's most likely signing up via email. And we also talk about at Kickoff Labs a viral boost. The most basic way to look at this is somebody signs up for your page, they tell two friends, those friends tell two or more people about your product, and they start getting a chain reaction of people signing up to your landing page. We call this in our product a viral boost because this is sort of the ideal situation where every one person refers more than one other person. That's what everybody shoots for. It doesn't always happen, but I can tell you what does always happen when you set up the principles is that you'll make your traffic worth more by giving it a boost. And so if you have a boost within our product reported, and it's not uncommon to be 60, 80%, that means 60 or 80% of your leads are coming from this referral mechanism. And that's what we'll talk about, how to optimize for that referral mechanism today, how to incentivize it today to create campaigns using our product. So a little bit of background before we set up how to create this type of campaign. It was popularized via the Harry's Razor launch. There's lots of case studies, there's lots of blog posts written about it. In its most simplistic form, there were two pages in the Harry's campaign launch. You signed up, you sign up, so you get a sign up page, and now you go ahead and tell your friends. And the important part about the telling your friends side of it is that the second part of it was what really drove the campaign. They were they gave away a lot of rewards for getting people to refer friends. So it wasn't just asking, hey, go ahead and share this out of the kindness of your heart. No, there was an actual incentive tied to the sharing. They were giving away free product, free subscriptions, they were giving up a lot for that conversion for the referral because they knew they knew one important thing, which is that capturing these email addresses was going to lead to more sales down the road. And so, like I said, that's it. It's 2 pages. We're going to go ahead and show you how you can set up a campaign like this with a capture page and a thank you referral page that gets people sharing. So I'm going to quit the slides. And you should all be seeing a KickoffLabs screen now. So I'm logged into my account. I'm on the create a new campaign screen. Fairly simple. If I come in here, I could go ahead and I could name campaign. As it so happens, I already have a demo campaign created. You're not missing much. I'm not going to skip a step. I'm just going to go to a blank campaign page here. So you can see this blank campaign page, nothing up my sleeve. There's nothing created here within this campaign. So I'm going to go ahead and click the giant green button that says Start collecting leads. Now, there's lots of ways you can collect leads with KickoffLabs. The most basic is, of course, a landing page. We have an exit intent widget. We have a way to use custom HTML, so you can make any other HTML page or template, if you don't like our landing pages, turn into a viral form. I'm not going to spend a lot of time any time covering this method at all today, but it is a way for you to get this virality on any custom page, and I just wanted to point it out. And then we have a way to embed forms within pages, and then the thank you pages, which I'm going to also be talking about. So let's start with the most basic, create a new landing page. Now, since that is the demo, I'm going to go right ahead and use the Harry sign up template right here. So I'm going to choose that, and now you can see I have this landing page created. This is the landing page dashboard I'm on now. You can see there's links to the analytics. There's links to where the page is published, which is not yet. The main link I should be concerned about at this point is the edit page. So if I go ahead and edit the page, we made this intentionally simple. There's not too much to edit. Something amazing is coming. You're not going to want to miss out. It's a riff on the copy that they used on the page. A couple things I could do. I could go in here. I can select a background image for the header. So I could come in here and go into people. Let's pick a background image for this header. Do a dark one like this. And then I can also just place the text over to the left so it's not on top of the hand on the page. I can save the page. And then, get in now. One thing I'll talk about in the best practices is you want to make sure there's an incentive for signing up. Get in now. And the incentive here, we didn't want to pre-imply an incentive, but I'm just going to add one here. So get in now. For a chance at exclusive launch items and discounts. And then it's usually best to think about the copy of the call to action button. So I can go in here and I could edit the form. I could add other fields to the form if I wanted to, but it's usually important to think about the call to action button being tied to your copy somehow. So either tying it to this something is amazing, get amazing, get discounts, something in here in the call to action that's more directly tied to your headline is probably a good idea. I can save this page. Now, if I go at this point and I sign up on the page, and you can demo the sign up in the designer. None of these signups are counted. You can test as many as you want. In the designer, it doesn't go into your stats or anything. It's just a way to test the thank you message. So if I go into here and I sign up, you can see that we'll show a general thanks for your interest, share your personal link to influence others. And then we give the link, and then we give the buttons to share on social networks in this location. This is the most basic form of virality and referrals. It's not going to incentivize beyond sort of a basic 35 or 40% viral boost unless you add an incentive here. You could stop at this point. You could go ahead and edit the thank you message under thanks on the tab on the left-hand side. And you could share your personal link to influence others, and you could add and earn rewards. But that's typically a rather vague message. I wouldn't recommend just doing that. I would recommend having something that was really specific. So you can kind of see if I go in here and I say at KickoffLabs.com and I say get amazing. You can see it's changed to earn rewards. This gets more interesting, this campaign, when you have a second page on the campaign. So if I come in here and I'll say, well, my sign up page is done, let's add a second page to the campaign. So I'll click up in here into pages and forms under my campaign. I'll click add a new page. And now I'm going to come down to a thank you page, viral and referral tracking. So I'm going to create a new thank you page here. These pages are available under the general landing page templates, but they're also available here. And I will pick the Harry Goes Viral Thanks page here. And I will open this page for editing. Now at this point, I'm going to check to see if anybody's asked any questions. I don't know if any come up, but I am going to pause for a second and check. Let's see. Yes, there will be a recording available after this. I've got questions. I should probably go ahead and ask them anytime. We'll be happy to answer your questions. All right. So on this page, I've got a basic thank you page. There's some options on the side. Let's say I want to keep things consistent with the header background image, so I might want to select image so people feel like a consistent experience between the two. Choose people again. We'll choose the same image so it's so it feels like the two pages are more connected. I'm going to kill the top bar. I don't really need it. I could put a logo there. I don't have a logo maybe, so I'm going to kill that option. Generally, I find less is typically more in a lot of cases. So if you've got if you're questioning like, should I add more content? Basic answer is start with no and add content if you need to improve your conversion rate or the sharing rate on the page. There's some other options in here. You can see that there's more sharing options: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, Pinterest, or email. I could change whether or not I'm sharing each of these things under the sharing options. I could turn off, for example, it's like my people aren't on Pinterest, so let's turn off Pinterest sharing. Or I don't want people to copy and paste the link. I'm just going to send it out there. So I'm going to turn off some of that. And turn off the, let's say Google+. I'm not a big believer in Google+. Basically simplifying the options down to where my audience lives, saving them. And you'll notice this theme has a counter for friends joined. In the demo for thank you pages, we give you an example of having some friends that have joined already, so that you can see what it looks like if people have already joined. So this says 7 friends joined. This is demo data. Keep checking. People can come back to these pages at any time and see their status. And they'll also receive emails along the way, which we'll cover as we're going. So you can kind of see what this implies is they reach the 0 level, which you could just say thank you, and they reach the 5 level, and they're on their way to the 10 prize level. And the way you can edit this is, let's say I come in here and I want my prize level. I just want 3 reward levels. So now you can see I've just got 3. I've got 0, 5, and 10. And let's say I want the last one at, let's say I want the last one here, prize level 3. I want this one at 15. So I can also change the number that people have to strive for the rewards. It has the 15 prize level now. And if I expand the page, you can see we've got it horizontally here. So you've got 5, 0, 5, 15. Can also go ahead and change the reward text for each prize level. So let's just change this one as a demo, the last one being you are super amazing. We're going to give you some free product. Something to note about these rewards is that don't be shy about giving away something, especially at higher levels. So think about it. A lot of people are not going to be able to refer anybody. I'd say about 70% of people might refer, 0 to 2 people. About 20% might refer, 2 to 5 people. And you're talking about in the single-digit percentages when you start talking about 15%. So if you're trying to scale your campaign, and there's a good talk one of our recent webinars about how the Comfortable Boxers team used this technique, how they scaled their rewards. There's a good talk with them about the economics and how they'd figured out that they were going to give away several $1,000s worth of prizes, and how they figured out that they would assume that at 5 they would give away 1 product, at 15 they would give away 3 products. The other thing you can do on this page, and that I recommend doing, is a lot of people use this bottom section where we've got this instructional video of how to set this up, and they'll use the bottom section to say how the rewards work, and they'll describe for every referral you get, and they'll basically give the layman's term version of the rules and the that they're using on the page, and how they're going to limit it. Some people, for example, will choose to say there's only the first 50, only the first 10 people that reach a certain prize level will get it. It's I think it's easier to explain if you're just saying everybody that reaches a prize level will get that reward at the prize level, but I can see how you might want to limit it if you want to give away something really cool for each prize level and say, well, at the top prize levels, only 2 or 3 people are going to get it. So you want to be the first person to have shared that many on here. And we can help you track that in the system as well. So now I've got this thank you page created. I've got my reward levels set. I've got prize. I've got text in here. I've got the levels set the way I want them. I can kind of see if I view the fuller version of the page. And I can come in here and let's say I'll save this page and I'll publish it. So now I've got a thank you page, but when I go to the main page, it's not connected in any way. So the next thing to do is to go to the sign up page, and on the sign up page, I can edit it now. And on this thank you experience here, I'm going to choose redirect options. So instead of using this default instant thanks, as we call it, I'm going to use the redirect here. And I'm going to pick, I could pick a custom URL if I wanted to, but I'm going to pick this page that we know about in the system. So it's the Harry Goes Viral Thanks. And I'm going to save this. And I'm going to go ahead and try this out here. And what you should see is you'll get a message saying redirection is disabled in the designer. The user would have been redirected to, and then there's this link to where they would have been redirected to, which is, yes, that is my thank you page that I had. I could test it out by clicking here. For now, I'm just going to close this. I'm going to publish this page too. And let's just see the whole thing so you can see this in action here. Something to note, I'm not going to go into publishing your custom domain. Of course, you can change where it's published to. You could edit the before kickoff pages. So I could edit this to say viral demo page if I wanted to. And then we'll just click publish after I change that. And then I can view the page, but I could also add a custom domain. So if I have a custom domain added to my via the custom domains tab, I could pick it in here and publish it to any of those custom domains that I had within this location. I'll click here. You can see it's the page I designed. I'll sign up. And I'll be redirected to this thank you page. And of course, I haven't referred any friends. And so it's got, I've got a 0 here. If I came through, now let's see how this works. So if I came through and shared this link via a social network, so if I shared it, let's say somebody clicked the tweet button. You can preset the Twitter text and everything that goes in here. I just left it with the default of check this out. It's under the page settings in the designer. So I've got this link. Let's assume that I shared it. So I'm actually going to go ahead and enter this this link in. So it has my referral ID here, and this is what's tracking uniquely. So if I see that referral ID in this location, and now I type in another email address. So I'll just say Josh plus friend. Now I'll sign up, and you can see again this is 0 in this location here. But if I went back to the first page and signed up again, I've now confused the browser. I could just go back and check on this thank you page and remember who I am. Even without the referral ID, it'll remember which person I was. So you can see this number is that person's referral ID. I can also go back and if I sign up on the very first page right here and I enter that first email address, and now you can see this counts as one. One invited friends have joined. Keep checking based on that referral. At this stage, now if I come back to this page and somebody just reloads the page with their KOL ID here, they are going to get one. So you can link back to the pages in the thank you mails, and I'll go over that in a second. But you can tell people to keep coming back to this page to check their status and where they are earning the rewards. And then, so the next thing I want to do for this campaign, so this is the basic viral campaign, but I want to show a couple more options. So this is just the pages that you've got here, and I can see I've got these rewards at 0, 5, and 15. So let's go back into my campaign, and let's go under emails. A couple things you're going to want to set up is you're going to want to set up the automatic reply email. So this goes out once as soon as somebody signs up, and what you're going to want to do in this email is you're going to want to tell people, remind them about the rewards. So the reason for sharing is rewards. I tell you, the most stressful part about doing these demos is typing live. But basically, you want to remind people in the automatic reply that there's rewards available. So I could save the automatic reply. I could send myself a preview. The other emails, we have an email called the incentive emails. These emails can go out when people reach certain levels. And so if I go over here and I say, add my first incentive email, this message is enabled, required number of leads. So how many leads is this person going to get that? And so I'll match it to what my landing page said, which is 5. The subject, you got 5 referrals. Outstanding, you've now generated, we have tokens that say conversions, your referrals, and you can say keep sharing. At 15, you'll get free products. And so you kind of remind them to keep going. I tell people they should personalize it. So you should say from who it is in this message. And then you can also use use any of these email tokens here that you've got custom field data they have. I could put in this thank you link in here. So I could just say, take this link and say, share buttons can check your status at any time using this link. And that'll put in the person's thank you link into the email so they can go back and check their status at any time and how many they have here. So I'll save this email. I'm not going to go through setting up the 15 level email. It's the same process. So now you can see I've got this email enabled that says you've got 5 referrals. I could set up one at the 15 mark as well. I could set up one at any mark I wanted to add in terms of keeping people going, giving them more incentive along they go. You could use these emails to give away automatic rewards. You could use them just to let people know where they stand and encourage them to keep sharing here. Now, one question that comes up, especially now that I've got these automatic emails being sent out, is how do I know that the referrals are valid? You can see that if I went and viewed the leads on this campaign and I sort them by direct referrals, you can see that Josh, now has 1 direct referral, but I clearly just entered that twice. I was on the browser, I entered it twice, and now I'm like 1 step closer to winning the campaign. Well, we have this thing called campaign verification. And so you can see this email was not verified. So that kind of gives you a clue that nobody had verified the email address. And if I come in here and I look at this person's lead card, you can see that this person that they referred, who is also me, has this IP address. So if you see a lot of people with the same IP addresses, that might be a clue. But if you see that they weren't verified and none of the referrals that they've brought in are verified, that would be a sign. And you can turn on verification from the campaign settings screen. So if I go to the campaign settings screen, I'm going to go over a couple things here. I could obviously change the name of the campaign. And then I could change this campaign to use verification mails. And there's two options here. One is to use and require them to enter, which means that all of the counts and those emails are going to require the number of verified signups. The other one is more for my information, where I'm going to send out the verification emails and ask people to verify, but I'm not going to require it for contests. Basically, I would use the choice depending upon the prize levels of the rewards that you're giving out. The higher, the more strict I would be. For a lower level, you kind of just want to do your own sanity check, and you're not going to show them whether or not they're verified, and you're going to let them keep entering whether or not they're verified. We'll keep this as this default. You use campaign verifications, and there's also an IP address filter. So like I said, if you see a bunch of fake email addresses from a specific IP address, you could start filtering them out. You could start filtering them out here. A couple other things on the campaign settings screens. It could be useful. The default share URL, the default thank you page URL, you could set one to be this thank you page. And what that's going to do is any other form you set up, because you could set up multiple pages. You could be A/B testing. You could have forms on your blog in the campaign, which I'll go over soon. And then you can tell it to always use this URL so that everybody is guaranteed to go to the same thank you screen. This is the sign up URL. So this is the page that somebody is going to be sharing. So you always want them to share one specific page. So if you've got 10 pages in your campaign, but you want one of them to always be used when it's shared, always use this one. The redirect and thank you option, I should read the screen myself, is that thank you screen. So it's the same thing, except it's the thank you message that you want to send people to. Now, I already set this up in the campaign. I don't need to set these values, but I'm going to set it up just in case I set up additional forms on the screen here. So I save these campaign settings. Now, you'll look anywhere we give a count, you'll see this view 7, 0 verified. So that tells me that none of these leads have actually been verified in this campaign. So 7 and 0. And now if I go and I look at the leads, you'll see the verified still says no. I could view the lead card, this person, and you could actually manually verify people. So I could say verified, check. And now if I go back to my leads count, takes a few minutes, but this would update and say 7 and 1 lead is verified. And this is a way you can help protect. This is a great way to help protect against fraud in the campaigns. Now, something else that you can do here is to set up another form on the page to get people to sign up if they're trying to leave the page first. So let's go and set up a exit intent widget. And what this is a last chance to get people to convert. It's just sort of a best practice to do on pages. Last chance, bounce. I can edit the bounce here. It'll say last chance to sign up, subscribe. This is really all I have to do. I've already set that default redirect for the campaign. I could change the copy if I wanted to. Just for now, I'm going to go back to get the code. And you can see you can select it just on the landing page. So if I come in here and I go back to the sign up page, and then I click edit this page, and I say on exit. So when somebody tries to leave, we'll select last chance. And then we'll publish this page. And then if I view the page and I go to leave the page, and of course I've already signed up. So what's happening here is I've already signed up, so it's smart enough to know that somebody with this browser has already signed up. We're not going to bug them with the page. But if I go to another browser and I add this landing page to it. Let me just pull this over here. Hopefully you can all see this screen. And I consider signing up, but I don't sign up. And then I go to leave. Now that bounce widget comes up. And if I sign up on this bounce widget here, because I have that default redirect set up, it's going to take me to the same thank you page. I didn't have to configure it on the widget. It was the default for the campaign. Any other widgets I add, any other sign up forms I use are always going to go back to that thank you message. All right. That's my quick demo on how to set up the Harry's the Harry's campaign. Let's go ahead and go back to the slides for a moment and talk about the next type of campaign. So the next type of campaign is the Robinhood waitlist demo. So this is basically, instead of giving people a reward, you're saying there's X people ahead of you. Do you want to get priority access? Invite friends and you'll get priority access. What they did is they gave an incentive for signing up, which was get early access. And then they told people, hey, you're number 10,000. If you want to be earlier, you should share this link. Very different than giving away free product. Has different mechanics, different things you'd want to incentivize, different type of campaign mail. So we'll go over how to set this up within the campaign as well. So let me now exit this slide. And we'll go back to this campaign. And I'll just add a new campaign for the purpose here. Robinhood. Now, it's important to note with any of these campaigns, you can use any landing page or form. It doesn't have to be the one that said the Harry sign-up page or Robinhood sign-up page. I could use this. I could use this center image box page here. I could use any of the other landing pages below. And just for the sake of knowing what you're doing, get in the know, follow us. Let's say get on our wait list. Not the best incentive, not the best copy. Like I said, that's not the focus of this webinar. But we'll say that that's this is my sign up page. And then when I go ahead and I'll add that second page again to the campaign, I'm going to select a thank you page. And I'm going to pick the waitlist page. So it's called Robinhood Waits in Line. I'm going to choose this page. I'm going to edit it. And basically, again, there's some dummy data here in the designer, so you can see we have the option to show the person where they are on the wait list, how many people are in line after you, so where you sit, and how many people are in line after you, how many friends you referred, and then this reward of getting early access requires you to sign up X number of people. So want early access, skip the line by referring 3 people. Similar mechanics to the other one, basically in terms of the sharing here, and we're going to publish this page like this. I'm not going to edit the copy, so if I go ahead and I publish this page, and again, I go to the sign up page that I'd created, and I'll edit the page. Oh, that's not the sign up page. Back. And I will choose the redirect, and I'll redirect people to this Robinhood Waits in Line page once they sign up. And I'll publish that. And now you can see when I go ahead and edit this or view this page, I'll type. I'm now number 1 on the wait list. Early access requires 3. There's 0 people after me. There's 0 friends referred. Thank you mechanics work the same as I mentioned before. There's sharing. You can set up and incentivize. So let's go look at a couple other things here. Now, for waitlist campaigns, to tell people where they stand, you can set up an incentive mail like we set up before and say at 3 and give them a link to get early access, or tell them they'll be contacted soon for early access. We also have an email called the influencer email. So the influencer email, and we'll enable that, basically goes out whenever somebody gets a referral. You can tell them how many people they've signed up. and how many total leads they've gotten, and then say, remember, early access requires 3 leads. And so this way, when if they get 1 or 2 in a day, they'll get notified saying, hey, you got 1 or 2 leads, keep sharing. You're only, they'll be able to tell they're only, 1 lead away from getting early access. So I'm going to go ahead and save the influencer mail setting here, and then just go look at the campaign again. So I'll come into the email, test it out live. And you can see that works. And then in my inbox, I should have the automatic reply from the campaign, which I didn't edit in this case. If I started referring people, I'd start seeing those influencer mails as well coming out once per day via the email that comes out. All right, that is the basics of how to set up each of these different types of campaigns. You can change the numbers on this page. So if I came in here, just to go over some of the things you could change on both of these pages, the skip the line number, I could change that to be 30. And so now you'll see early access requires 30. And these settings are the same for each of the pages. You can set the page title, the description. You can set the Facebook sharing title. So these are things you want to set, especially if you're doing these types of campaigns. So skip the line with company X. And I could set a description. Say, I'm skipping. Here, you might want some longer text. I just don't want to type it out. The Twitter text, as I mentioned, check this out. If you want to skip the line, I can set a favicon image. I can set a Facebook sharing image in this location. And it's just basically the sharing, the share settings you want to change on the page. I would do this for all of the pages. So whether or not people share, if they accidentally share the thank you page, you can do it here. I would also set them on the thank you on the first page as well. So I would also set them on the sign up page. Ideally, you want people sharing the sign up page, so you want these share settings set on the sign up page. Like I said, they're the same for all of the different pages in this location. You can set the description, Facebook share title, the description, and the Twitter share text here. All right, that is the basic end of how to set up each of these types of campaigns. I'm going to stop for a second and see if there's any questions that have come up. So do I have any suggestions on the rewards, i.e. Starbucks gift cards or not? Any metrics or costs associated with the rewards, typically $ per email acquisition? The $ per email really depends on how you're driving traffic to the page. And so it's not a great, I don't have a great answer to that question. If you're attempting to drive all of your traffic via advertising, expect a high $ per email amount. If you're driving all of your traffic via a blog post or influencers that are out there, expect a much lower dollar amount per acquisition. The link that was posted earlier in the chat has some great data in terms of what a customer saw for their own effectiveness and economics of the campaign. But in terms of what suggestions are rewards, it really depends on the product. I always recommend that people pick a reward that is related to their product. So it's either giving away certain like a part of the product or giving away a X number of months of subscriptions. I recommend that because if you said I'm just going to give away an iPad, what you're going to find is the people that sign up maybe aren't your best customers. They're people who are interested in winning a free iPad. And you would rather have people that are ideal customers for you than people who are in the iPad business. We did a much longer webinar on the best practices, and I'm just going to review these really quickly here because that's a great leading question to some of the best practices we've seen. The first thing to do is nailing that first pitch on the first conversion. if you've got less than a 25% conversion rate, I would really spend my time optimizing that first page, run some A/B tests, test a different message, test a different incentive to get people to sign up initially. People are selfish. They want something in return for signing up. And so, you could say early access. I recommend doing something like a discount for people that sign up early that expires on a certain date. That way you're giving them saying, hey, you've only got 2 weeks to sign up or a month to sign up and get this discount, because people are, like I said, selfish and they need something to be convinced to sign up. Saying thank you, we covered both on the page and in email. You want to make sure you have both of these enabled and reminding them about the rewards and the referrals. You want to get to that second call to action as soon as possible in terms of saying, thanks for your interest. You want to bring them right to that page. You want to bring everybody right to that second call to action and get people to share on the page. As they're going, you want to send them emails. Like I showed, the incentive email and the influencer email are two different types of emails you can send along the way. This is the one that Robinhood sent. Hey, you've been added. You can check your spot in line by clicking here. Share it with this link. It's really simple. They didn't even use buttons. They just put the raw text for the link in the email. You want to offer amazing incentives, and the trick here is you want to make sure there's 2 levels of incentives. One level is on the lower level, like 0 to 5 shares, to get something that you're happy to give out to almost anyone that signed up because it's early and you want their business. This makes it feel achievable to people, but also worth sharing. So you're giving them incentive to share, but it's achievable. Then at the high end, for the people who are in that 0 to 5% who are going to refer hundreds of people to your campaign, you want to make it worth it for them at the high end. So you want to have something, a year of free product, or hey, here's 5 pairs of boxer shorts for free is what the example of the Comfortable Boxers team did. Like I said, this is a great example where there's invite friends and earn product. So this customer did, basically an info product at 5, 7-day eating challenge. Then at 10, they gave a month free of their membership. Then at 25, they gave away a physical product. And at 50 shares, they gave away an even more impressive physical product. But you notice this product was a fitness related thing, nutrition and fitness related membership site. That the rewards were very much related to their industry. So they were getting people who were their ideal customers. They weren't giving away an iPad here at 50. They were giving away something that their potential customers would have liked to have seen. Don't forget to show people the rewards. Here's another example of a campaign that worked. They didn't use a dedicated thank you page. They just used the inline thank you page. Showed people where they stood, how many friends have joined so far, and they gave a date that says enter to win by, and they basically did an enter to win type of campaign. And also if you refer 5 people, they'll send you free product. It doesn't have to be a whole dedicated page. It can be just using the instant thanks on the page. The waitlist technique works as we showed. There's a couple examples of waitlist campaigns that have been set up. And then, like I said, the viral reward sharing, the kind of campaigns that work, get 3 and you're in works well. Move up on the wait list works well. Most referrals is something that we'll be showing off in a couple weeks. We're going to create a campaign type for leaderboards, and we'll have another webinar for that. Prize levels at values, obviously I showed. Sign up 5 friends and get X. Straight up reward is it works really well. And as I demonstrated, here's another example of an influencer mail that goes up, following up with either the influencer or the incentive mails. These slides are going to be going out to everybody, so you can go through them. And we also send a link to the best practice demonstration we did, where we actually spent a whole hour going over these. Something to remember is that your campaign is only going to be as good as the audience you're seeding it with. So you have to really consider that you can't just get 1 person to the page and it's going to go viral. You have to assume that for it to go viral, you have to get 1,000, 2,000 people to the page ahead of time for that to work. And so think about using an existing audience. Think about using other people's existing audiences for the campaign. And then, there's other ways of, there's lots of ways to detect fraud. The best is using the verification features. Our product also captures a lot of social data on email addresses that sign up. It's just some examples to look at of things that could be fraud. If you see somebody with 100 referrals and they don't have any referrals, sub-referrals, so in one indication, obviously fake email addresses are pretty easy to spot. If there's no social links on any of the profiles, generally 70% of our signups have at least one social link associated with their profile. So if you don't see that, it's an indication there could be potentially fraud. And again, the advanced fraud protection ways of actually forcing people to verify and forcing the referrals to verify will ensure that you've got verified email addresses in this location. Remember, like I said, we call it a viral boost because not every viral boost is a hockey stick. It's actually better just to think about it and plan for, instead of 100 referrals, I'm going to get 180 referrals via this campaign. For every 100 people I bring in, I'll get 80 more. If you do it right, you can turn 100 into 200 and 200 into 250. It has worked for people, but just set your expectations. Your goal is to just maximize the dollar of every person you bring in and every amount of effort you spend bringing in to get more people into the campaign. So that said, a little recap. Today we talked about how to create and walked through how to create a Harry's campaign, how to create a Robinhood-like campaign. We talked about some best practices, nailing the conversions, saying thank you, sending the people to the second call to action, offering incentives, following up, keeping the audience engaged, and how to protect against fraud. I encourage you, if you haven't already, to go ahead and create your own viral campaign with KickoffLabs. If you have any feedback on this presentation, I'd love to hear it. If you have any feedback on our features in the campaign, I'd love to hear that as well. And if you create a cool campaign and you want to show us and you want us to look at your campaign, we're more than happy to do that. So send us a link to the campaign you've created. We're happy to give you feedback and let you know what we think about it. I'll stick around for a couple minutes and answer questions via the chat. I don't see any questions yet, but I'll stick around in the chat for a couple minutes. Having said that, I'm going to stop the live broadcast and thank you all for coming and encourage you to go ahead and use the techniques we showed for your own campaigns.